Hey everyone, welcome to another General Zero Hour replay. This is coming from May 8th on Castle Wolfenstein map. This is a 3v3 between Skippy, GLA Vanilla. Down here is Mike, China Tank. Coredawg is GLA Toxin. Don't usually see Coredawg as GLA, it's strange. It seems like I'm always seeing him as China. And every once in a while as USA Air Force or super weapons sending planes over the top, but not very often GLA, so we'll see how he plays it. See what it looks like. Neo is going to be USA. I feel like that's a comfort zone for him. He does pretty well with those fire-based defenses. Pancake, another GLA demo. I also feel like I don't see Pancake as GLA very often, for whatever reason. Maybe it's not the case. And STM, the mountain over here on the left side, as USA Vanilla. So this map is an interesting one. It's got bridges that get smaller as you go up, and here on the top there are bases waiting to be captured, along with oils, except for Skippy. He doesn't get anything like that. Holy cow, that's from the mountain. Holy cow, that's STM's fire base. Whoa! He came all the way across the bridge. The mountain's been here before. Something tells me the mountain has been to this map before. I think the group has played this map more often in the past. And the mountain looks very familiar with this place. He came all the way across with these defenses, and I think he's going to get that Patriot missile system up as well. Yeah, that RP Trooper goes down fast. He not only built the defenses, he brought infantry across as well. And these defenses are going to be well protected. The Dozer even makes it back. Holy cow. As Skippy, this is really distracting now. There is a man in your base who wants to destroy you. I don't think this civilian building is going to do it. No, maybe it will. Yeah, it's close. I think the civilian building's going to do it. He keeps on reinforcing. Close. Close. Now this one can fire on it too. Wow. What's going on over here? So the Mike's in the middle. And looks like he must have captured that supply drop zone. That must have just been there waiting for him. Coredawg's helping him out with some defenses, some tunnels. But we'll see how long that supply drop lasts. It looks kind of exposed there. I guess there's a garrison tent as well. And Neo and Coredawg content to stare across from each other at these bridges for now. Okay, Firebase goes down, but that Patriot missile system is still there. That's not quite the unit that you want going after it. What is Skippy gonna do? Yep, he's preserving this one. This is gonna give the mountain such a good jump to start out this game, because while Skippy is handling this, and yes, I think these units coming in are going to handle it, but while he's taking care of this last Patriot system, yep, this will do it. Mountain's just, he's using all this time. This is all gravy for him. Yeah, accidentally takes out his own quad as well. This is all gravy. Those two defenses were well worth it for him. He's going to have quite the jump on Skippy. Though looking up here, it's not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting, I wonder if he's building quite a bit somewhere else, or if he was actually distracted by his own attack as well. I was kind of thinking he'd have quite a jump on Skippy over on this side, but it doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be. So Skippy able to take those guys out, get him out of his face, and he's actually also building defenses in the middle, so not as uneven as I thought it might be. After the mountain really snuck into his base early on. Speaking of sneaking in, let's see, Pancake here with the tunnel, and some demo bikes. Nicely done. Very well done. I wonder how he snuck that across. They did have a nice line of defenses. Maybe I thought they were defenses. I saw all that red in the middle. Maybe it was up on Skippy's side before he got that Stinger side up. Those bikes took out Coredawg's supply and Neo's bringing planes over the top. So they are harassing Coredawg. And good, Neo's capturing some of these buildings down here. I'm excited to see how those come into play. I think that's a pretty cool, unique aspect of this map, and it looks like Neo's the only one doing it right now. Mountain and Coredawg not quite interested in that yet. So this tunnel's still on the map. They must not know where it is. Even on their own side of the river, there's probably a lot of gray area where they can't see. Yeah, Coredawg's just driving Marauders this direction towards the front line with Neo, but he must know that his supply center got taken out, but maybe he doesn't know that it was bikes that did it. Otherwise, I assume he'd be turning around and going this direction. Beacon. Beacon right here. Maybe it's here. No. It's over here. What is Pancake doing now? Is he making more bikes? He's got the tunnel. He's got a bike. I'd love to see him do that again. He's building his palace. I don't know how much money he has. There's another bike. I'd love to see him pull it off at least one more time before they find this tunnel. There, Mike sees it. Oh, this is so interesting. Just beacons going off all over the place. There's the bikes. Get out of there and go! Oh, there goes one. Yeah, there they got blown up. Really well done by Pancake. Again, this right-hand side is just getting in the faces of the left side. Skippy had a lot to deal with from the mountain earlier. And now Coredawg getting kind of stifled early on by Pancake's bikes. And what's this helix going to do, though? Okay, so maybe the only way to get up there is actually by helicopter. It looks like they want to... Mike wants to capture that base as well. So, okay, what's Neo doing with this airfield? He's getting his Auroras up and going. He's just USA vanilla, so these aren't going to be quite as powerful as, say, super weapons would be. Oh, barely doesn't make it back. And they're going to be 2,500 each. Oof. That Stinger sight, that's right. GLA Toxin's missiles, both from their Stinger sights and from their RPG troopers, follow planes so much better than the other GLA missiles do, and really better than any of the other factions do. They last a lot longer in the air, they will follow the planes a lot longer in the air, and so it makes a big difference. Big difference. That one Stinger sight should not have been able to take out that Aurora bomber, but because it's GLA Toxin, they followed him all the way back almost to the airfield. So we know what Neo's doing. He's sending planes over the top, harassing Coredawg, setting up a line of defenses. These Marauders should go down soon. I don't expect them to last too much longer, yeah. Tough little guys, but we know what Pancake was up to. He was up to some stealth missions over there in the middle using that tunnel. That was pretty cool to see. Now he's getting some secondary economy going just a little bit. I wonder on this map, is this one of those where everyone just has the one supply? That's what it looks like. In which case everyone is going to be a little bit slower up and going. There's some supply right there. The mountain now getting some secondary economy going as well. 2 supplies, so he's going to be up and running strong pretty quick, I bet. So he's working on supply. Skippy's gathering an army just in case the mountain tries something. I only see the one supply from him so far, but I'm not sure where. It's a big map, and I don't know where all of them are. And Mike, what's he working on? I saw the helix up top, so he's capturing these buildings down here. He wants to be a China-USA mix. He's got the middle pretty well bunkered off and collecting supplies from there. It looks like his other mission, he's got the airfield up. He's got the nuke. He's the only one with the super weapon on the board right now, so I'm guessing Neo is going to be spending some of his precious Aurora bombers to head in Mike's direction here pretty quick. And Coredawg, what's he working on? Creating a line of defenses in the middle, capturing one oil, getting another supply up. Yeah, he's recovered from that one attack just fine, it seems like. He's looking pretty strong. And Neo's sure slowed down with those Aurora bombers. They are more expensive. Looks like he's going with a different strategy. Yes, bringing in the China units. That is awesome to see. Much better ranged units than USA's Tomahawks, in my opinion. The missiles can't be shot out of the sky by those Stinger sights. These are Tomahawks. I'm sure some of them will be getting through, but not all of them. Oh, they can shoot all the way across the river. I wonder if it would be smart to build a little farther away from the river even, just for that reason. Coredawg has no units in the vicinity. He's got no planes because he's GLA. Usually you just see Coredawg just kind of handle it. You know, send some planes, some Raptors over the top, boom, take out 3 of them just like that. Now's the buggies. That's his answer. He's gonna get one of them, I think. Yep, that one goes down. But as GLA, you gotta get creative. Get a German Kel to shoot one of them, bring buggies across. Maybe you can sneak a gosh, what are they called? Scud launcher over there. Ooh, if those, there we go. I was gonna say, if those Inferno cannons don't retarget, that buggy's gonna be able to take them down. Neo making a good push. Has another buggy to deal with, but it doesn't look like Coredawg is creating massive amounts of troops quickly or anything like that. He's kind of bringing them out one at a time. Doesn't have a large secondary economy up and going yet. But I don't see any reinforcement Inferno cannons coming up from Neo either. I thought he might be building some more and sending them down. I don't see any. They did so well, but then again, after you clear out the defenses, maybe you want to switch to something besides Inferno cannons anyways. Bring across some Humvees. Nothing. What do we see here? An Avenger? Man, I wish he could have followed that up. He probably just didn't quite have the money. 3,800. He might be distracted elsewhere, but he's got the defenses down. You just know Coredawg's going to come up with some secondary plan there to replace him, though, if he doesn't move in there quick and utilize this chance. He's got a good defensive line there. Maybe he was being harassed by buggies and distracted. How is he going to use this? The defenses are gone. Pancake. What's Pancake doing? Come on. Bring these guys down. Beacons all over the place. Maybe Neo's saying, I got him down here, we just need a push. Bring your guys down. The war factory's gone and they don't give you any buildings to make China dozers. I think Mike took out the war factory. That's sad. He doesn't need the Inferno cannons anymore. I mean, there's the base. Go get it. Load up some Humvees. But Neo just stifled in his production. Looks like with all that defense and with all that offense, he wasn't able to make any secondary economy yet. Only one Chinook on that supply in the back. Maybe it's empty and it just isn't showing that way. Yep, now moving to the supplies in the middle. One of the benefits of bringing in all those Inferno Cannons is that he made room for his Chinooks to come up to the middle, otherwise they'd be getting fired on. Tons of Stinger sights from Skippy, holy cow. Yeah, those Tomahawks, those are no Inferno Cannons. Or new cannons. Those aren't going to get anywhere very soon. Alright, so it was exciting to see Coredawg's defenses go down. Neo doesn't really have much to follow it up with. I kind of think it would be worth the time for Pancake to drive some troops. I know it's a long ways. That time does add up. Bring them all the way down here, but you could get some ways into this base. The defense, or in the middle, looking quite a bit stronger. Again, if the left-hand side made a ground push through the middle, they could go in whatever direction they wanted to go, kind of except for right here. Even then, they could drive up and around if they really wanted to get to Neo, if they were in a hurry to. Something tells me this is going to end up being a big factor. Just looking at those guys, they're stealthed, there's like 10 of them, and there's not a whole lot of huge armies on the board. I'm thinking the economy is limited on this map. That's looking like a pretty strong helicopter army from Mike. I bet they can get quite a bit done over here. Yeah, you're just not seeing any large armies at the moment. One Avenger. Come on, buddy. It's all up to you. You see them up there, you know they're coming. Maybe Mike sees them too. Oh, he's just... Where'd the Avenger go? There he is, he's still right there. Mike drives all the way around him. Probably saw him there. They're stealthed. Those 2 quad cannons would make a difference. I don't know that they'd take all of them out, but it would make a difference if they could see them. I'm sure Neo's communicating like no one's business. He knows the helicopters are in the back of his base. That's why the radar van's being brought down. That's why the quad cannons are there. But Mike's got a huge map to play with here. He can go any direction he wants to. He does not have to face off against those quad cannons. It's a bad matchup. He doesn't want any part in it. And that does make sense. Neo consolidating his defenses with those Avengers for the buggies and getting some secondary economy. Pancake is chased off the helicopters. Is Mike ever going to be able to do anything productive with these guys, or are they just going to fly around? Scud Launcher versus Tomahawks. No Avengers there to take out that missile. There were Avengers up here earlier. There's one. Yeah. You should wonder what the Mountain's been working on over here. Lots of economy. Hopefully it doesn't just all get taken out. Mike not finding a good place for these helicopters to go. That is a problem with Comanches. They're such fragile troops. It's like you spend so much on them, you want them to go far for you and make their money back. But it can be hard to find a good entry point into people's bases, somewhere that's unprotected. He's had them running up for now for a couple minutes. A few minutes, maybe. Alright, the Mountain must have found a good way to deal with that Scud Launcher. The middle kind of uncontested, lots of defenses here. It is paying off for this left team because Mike is getting quite a bit of resources out of there. Coredawg has a supply up and going. So definitely worth it for that left team to defend the middle in the way that they did. You can see it from Mike's helicopter army here. They just have a little bit more going for them. And what else is he working on? Holy cow, the helixes. Why not a ground army? China's got good troops for that. You've got the whole middle. But hey, you know, you teach their own. Everyone does it their own way. It makes you wonder what Neo's been working on too. You see all these supply drops, which is good, but can't you make some sort of army at the same time? He's weak down here still. Not as weak as he was. Now Coredawg's getting the black markets up. Haven't really seen a whole lot of offensive input or offensive output from anybody yet. I'm not seeing those Comanches up here anymore. The mountain did have some Patriot missile systems. Maybe that's what took them out. They're fragile troops, that might have been all it took. Skippy, is he making secondary economy? I see a couple black markets back here. So no, I think these are the Comanches. Mike just never found an entry point. All that space on this entire side of the map, and just could not find a good way into anybody's base. It was either quad cannons or Patriot missiles or Avengers down by Neo. Alright, looking at the economy real quick. STM's not going anywhere, but that's because his is USA. The supply drops only come in every once in a while.
Ready to sting.
Same thing with Neo now. Where was I? I was going up. Skippy. Not much money to work with. Looks like Coredawg's making kind of his first consolidated offensive effort here. Other than that, he's been more on the defense. Yeah, thinking better of it. Maybe there's somewhere better to go. Maybe we want to go this way instead. Back to this bridge. There's only one firebase over there instead of two. There we go. And then looking at Mike. What? That can't be right. That's not right. He does not have $46,000. That's some sort of issue with the replay, I think. But everyone else is looking pretty reasonable. Mike, that's not true, is it? Tell me it's not true. What's this? What's this in the back? No, he doesn't have $46,000. He's got good money in the middle, but he doesn't have that. Ooh, look at those Avengers go. Yep, see, purple missiles from the Stinger sights. It's because of the upgrade. That thing's not making it home. It's so much more effective than just the regular missiles. So Neo put a beacon on those buggies. I wonder what kind of help he's calling for. Finally the buggies get some success. Are able to take up the firebase, but 4 buggies and 2 Avengers, it takes them a while. Neo's got hit points to spare. And what has Pancake been working on? Everyone's been working on secondary economy. Just as long as they're able to build some sort of army to contend with whoever makes the first push. Because if you don't have an army up and ready to defend your secondary economy, then it doesn't do you a whole lot of good and it can go down pretty fast. So that's well and good to make all of these black markets and supply drops as long as you can defend them. And Coredawg bringing in an army, I don't think he's going to go too far with it. Pancake's coming down, Neo's coming down. I wonder if they're going to try to make another push across the bridge now, or if they're just going to defend on their side some more. So this map looks like it doesn't give people a whole lot to work with for resources, so you have to create your own. Everyone now has their black markets up. Mike's got his internet center up. That nuke's been there for a while, it seems like. Maybe I just missed where it went. Skippy's got a few black markets, but he might not have as many as everybody else, and that could come back to hurt him later. I mean, the mountain's got a whole bunch of supply drops. Pancake's got all these black markets, so everyone's built up now. So I have a feeling we're going to see some large armies coming across the street pretty soon. It's just who's going to make the first strike, and are you going to be able to eat into those secondary economy buildings in the other team? Yeah, that one tomahawk still thinks he's going to get something done down there. Yeah, probably just there for a distraction. Something for Skippy to think about. So there's another beacon by Mike. I wonder what they're coordinating. Beacons all over the map. He's got the helixes, tons of them. But he wasn't able to find an entry point with the Comanches earlier, so maybe that's what he's thinking about now with his Helix army. Helixes are stronger, tougher than Comanches, but not that tough. They're still an air unit. They're still vulnerable. And Neo must have taken out Mike's extra base down here. Mike took out Neo's extra base. There we go, here's something. That's an interesting place to put that tunnel by Coredawg. I thought he might put it a little farther back, away from this front line of defenses. That tunnel's going to go down pretty soon to that fire base. And who dropped the toxin? Is that Coredawg as well? That's interesting. But yeah, Neo just doesn't have defenses back here. He doesn't have an army. And so how far, there's only like 7 Marauders, but how far are they going to get, and how many of these supply drops are they going to take out? Pancake coming in with a little army here, but Quad Cannon's not quite as strong as Marauders. Where is Coredawg going? Why is he going that direction? Why are you doing that? You don't need to take out the fire base. Oh, okay, you got buggies. You want them to come across too. So his mission was not necessarily to just go to the back of Neo's base and take out a few supply drops. He wanted to get behind Neo's defenses, take out the Avengers with Marauders, then he can bring these buggies across. And here they come. He's going to have to keep his distance from these Paladins and the Avenger. Yeah, just even though Coredawg has a bunch of black markets at this point, it still seems like when it comes to making large armies, everyone's feet are just kind of stuck in the mud still. It also looks like this replay is playing at about half speed with all the snowflakes falling. Maybe that's what it is. This might have been a half-hour game. This could end up being like an hour-long replay. So here we go. Here's something that looks like it's really going to be successful. Mike, who apparently has... Okay, he did have $47,000 to play with. I don't know if I believe it. Made a whole bunch of overlords. That looks like it's going to work. I think he's going to be able to get somewhere. And like I said earlier, this middle of the board, he can go wherever he wants. This part's bunkered off a little. You can dodge that. So let's see what's up in Pancake's base. There's Auroras coming from maybe the mountain. They have a tendency to... Oh, they have a tendency to miss if the units are on the move. Okay, a lot going on down here as well. Those 2 Avengers. But Coredawg's got more Marauders to deal with the Avengers, and then those buggies coming across should be able to get pretty far. Neo, so many supply drops. No army. No army. There's a few Crusaders. Oh, jeez. That sound effect sounds awful. Those angry mobs go down. Sounds brutal. Ugh, that sounds terrible. But here we go. Mike is in somebody's base. Somebody is finally in someone's base, and Pancake's not going to be able to come down and help Neo because Pancake's got plenty going on at home here. Mike and Coredawg coming across the river at the same time. Not a huge army from Coredawg by any means, but it's junk repair, and it is highly leveled up with those marauders collecting so much junk, and it's got no one to fight it. It's just marauder versus supply drop at this point. Neo bringing in more Avengers, which is good against buggies, but marauders are going to take those out really fast. The Avengers are expensive units. Coredawg collecting some junk. And Mike continuing to press on into Pancake's base. So now the mountain is the only one with an intact base, and what do? You want to be able to stop the bleeding before it becomes a serious injury, but you've already got 2 armies in 2 of your friends' bases, and this is an Overlord army. It's not going to go down to just anything. Tomahawks would help, but you'd need like 12 or 15 of them. Those would do pretty well against Overlords, but not just the one. Yeah, it is interesting. And it is easy to say as the one who's not playing, but it's interesting to see all of these secondary economy buildings. There's plenty of them, but no armies. You know, it'd be nice to have some arms dealers and some war factories protecting those. And the planes are nice. Planes will pick an army apart and whittle it down, but you really do need a solid ground force to be able to stop it completely in its tracks. Otherwise it just gets whittled down and keeps getting whittled down and never gets completely destroyed and then keeps on going. Like, I'm sure this is a smaller force than Coredawg had before, but not by a ton. So Mike using the open middle of the board very well. Coredawg using some very smart coordination with his tunnels, along with a buggy force to come across. So he used his tunnel with the marauders to destroy the Avengers, which were completely blocking the buggies there for a long time. As soon as the Avengers were gone, he was able to bring the buggies across. Buggies plus marauders is what it was able to cut right through the middle of Joe's base here and take out a lot of his supply drops, which is going to slow down his planes, it's going to slow down his crusaders. Pancake as well, I don't think has a whole lot left. You know, all he really has left is markets. If you could get 4 or 5 barracks down, each one of them pumping out angry mobs, that would be something. Pancake's out. Pancake with no money? That's got to be another mistake. Those are Neo's now. He is out. Okay. I think I'm starting to believe that Mike really did have $68,000. I'm sure it's happened to me before as well. Okay, so now the mountain's going to be getting the brunt of the general's abilities bombs. He is the only base left on the board that has any sort of offensive capability. All that's left of Neo is just tons and tons of money inputs. Black markets, and yeah, give it to the mountain. He might be able to use it. It's going to take a while for... Oh. Okay. I was not expecting that to end right there, but, you know, I mean, I get it. 2 of the teammates were out, and the mountain was getting hammered by General's abilities. It was only going to get worse. He had just taken the first EMP blast, and I'm sure he was just about to get hit by carpet bombs and toxin bombs from GLA and whatever else Skippy could throw at him. So that right-hand team had a couple of really good moves early on in the game, with the mountain coming across bridge, successfully building 2 defenses in Skippy's base. Wasn't able to capitalize on it in the fact that Skippy was able to rebuild, get strong, and just, it was Skippy versus the mountain. Neither of them ever got an upper hand on the other after that. So Skippy was able to recover pretty well. Pancake brought that worker across unnoticed, which is pretty cool, and then brought those bikes, those demo bikes across and destroyed Coredawg's supply, which you could tell slowed Coredawg down a little bit, allowed Neo to bring in those Inferno Cannons, and at that point it felt like the right side had the upper hand, but left side was able to recover, and you saw 2 big ground armies from the left-hand side, and you never did see huge ground armies get created by that right-hand side. And the middle was wide open, and Mike took advantage of it. So Coredawg with the most supplies, he must have ended up having the most black markets running, and with the most buildings destroyed as well, but he and Mike were pretty close. Both of them had big armies going across. And looking at units destroyed, Coredawg the most by far. I'm trying to remember when. I suppose every time a USA building gets destroyed, there's like 3 or 4 Rangers that come out of it that get destroyed as well. So that was probably a lot of those. Units created, Coredawg and Mike, and the mountain. Where were those units from the mountain? And what were they doing? I know he was probably sending a steady stream of them south to help his buddies when they were getting destroyed. So I wonder if that's where those came from as well. Well, congratulations to the left-hand team of Coredawg, Mike, and Skippy, and we will catch you next time for another replay. Thanks for watching.